It was a long and big night for the president following another flurry of moves within the past week.
That's right. Democratic strategist Spencer Derrick and Republican strategist Bob Clegg are joining us now. At the top of the newscast, we called it intensely partisan. I want to hear from both of you about this. You saw everything taking place in the chamber tonight and thought what?
Well, wasn't surprised. The Democrats have not taken President Trump's victory very well, and they showed it tonight.
Is that indicative of the tone and tenor of the country?
Well, I think it's an unprecedented time in our country's history. We have a president who is breaking constitutional rules and norms left and right in order to, implement a very extreme and controversial agenda that the vast majority of Americans don't support, including cutting Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. I think the response was quite appropriate.
I think Ohioans should have been paying attention to something that came up kind of mid-speech when he said he wants to do away with the CHIPS Act. We all know that J.D. Vance and Sherrod Brown worked very hard to push the CHIPS Act through. In fact, the vice president called it great hope, not only for Ohio, but for Ohio workers. And the Intel plant that's coming on the Far East Side depends on it.
Yeah.
What should we think of the president tonight saying, let's do away with the CHIPS Act?
Well, let's see if he does. I don't think he will. I think what he's trying to do is what he just did this week was bring in a Taiwanese company that's going to invest $100 billion in manufacturing chips here in the United States. That's only going to help Intel. Intel is probably going to be taken over by another company, and that company has to feel like there's something there to take over. And I think the president's not going to let Intel go under like that.
But that project was dependent on billions of dollars from the CHIPS Act. So what should New Albany, what should Governor DeWine be thinking right now?
Well, not just Governor DeWine, but also our new Senator John Husted, who also worked hard to make sure that we brought Intel to Central Ohio. And I think what we're seeing here is generally the fact that Donald Trump doesn't care about Ohio workers. He doesn't care if our grocery prices are higher. He doesn't care that eggs are unavailable. He doesn't care that he's taking jobs away from
much like Joe Biden.
Middle class. He doesn't care that he's taking jobs away from middle class Ohioans. And now he's starting an unnecessary trade war that's going to increase the cost of housing, lumber, steel, all of the things that are incredibly important in our economy. And for what? In order to take a hit at some of our allies. It's callous and it's a real issue.
But you have no way of knowing that's going to happen. You wish it would happen, but there's nothing that shows it will happen. And we won't know until they're actually in place and they've been going for a while. We are at a disadvantage with every single nation in this world with our trade. He's trying to get us on the same level as everybody else. And that's all he's doing. Now, if the other countries can't handle that, then, that's their problem. We got to have fair trade.
We are seeing a division here. We saw a division in Washington, and we are probably going to see some analysis tomorrow at the State House about what all of this means, and it will be divided, but we'll be on top of it. Now we want to thank both of you for being in here with us tonight.